Check out these lichen. They are complex microecosystems that are formed through a symbiosis between a fungi, so microbiont, and a photobiont, which is a photosynthesizing partner that can either be an algae or a cyanobacteria. And these photosynthesize and create carbohydrates that both the fungi and the photosynthesizer consume, and the fungi provides the structure. It's what we see here mostly. That's mostly the body of the fungus. The fungus will also absorb water and nutrients and minerals. You can find lichen on 6 to 7% of Earth's surfaces in many different habitats. Here we see it on a stone, but you can also find them on trees, on soil, on buildings. Maybe you found it on your own house. And you can find them in many different ecosystems. They are really adaptable. They are very tolerant to many different conditions. You can find them in the poles, you can find them at high altitudes, you can find them in deserts. And this is because they have many different strategies to deal with stressful conditions. So they have the ability to survive in really dry conditions, whereas if it was just an algae, it would die out because it needs some moisture. But as the symbiosis, what happens is they shut down their metabolism and they go into a dormant state. And like this, they're able to survive in really extreme conditions. They also have melanin because the fungal partner has melanin, so they can survive UV radiation, so heat. Lichen have another very cool trait, which is that they can break down rock. Pretty impressive, right? So sturdy. But they do this because the fungal partner has enzymes that they can excrete onto the rock, and also through physical processes as their hyphae will go into the cracks, and they'll break down this rock to get access to the minerals. These minerals will go into the rest of the environment, and when the lichen itself dies and crumbles into the environment, together that will create soil. That's how you slowly have soil being formed, which allows for more life to come, like plants. Really interestingly, lichen absorb their nutrients from the air. Other fungi will go into the soil, break down organic matter, and absorb that nutrients. Lichen will absorb it directly from the air, which means they're a really good indicator for air quality. We can tell whether we have pollution depending on the health of the lichen community that you see around you. So if you have a lot of nitrogen because of pollution in your air, that might affect the photobiont, which will either lead to a discoloration or just they won't be as large. So they're really important environmental indicators. They're also food to a lot of organisms and a habitat to many organisms. Like I said, they're a micro-ecosystem, which means that a lot of other organisms live inside of it. Other fungi, other bacteria will live inside. They have many different forms. They can be crustose, like this, forming a crust on a surface. They can also be foliose, looking like leaves, or fruticose, where they form long strands. What's really important to know when you're trying to identify lichen are those forms, are those colors, are where you find them, but also lichen is actually identified by the fungal partner. So when we name a lichen, we're actually naming the fungal partner that is associated with the photobiont. And the fungal partner will shape how it looks. But it can also vary a lot in different conditions. Lichen can look very different in different contexts, and in partnership with different type of photosynthesizers. So lichen are super important for our ecosystems. They are important for nutrient cycling. They provide a habitat for many different other organisms and food for others. And they're super resistant and resilient, and I think they're awesome. So if you want to learn anything more about lichen, let me know. Bye.